Hello and assalamu alaikum. Me and Teddy was just sharing a plate of cookies we have here. Unlike Hilmy the Hippo, who doesn't like to share at all. Hilmy the Hippo is written by Ray Norridge. One bright morning, Hilmy the Hippo splashed about in his waterhole. He was in a playful mood. He plunged down beneath the surface of the water and swam to the bottom. Suddenly, and to Hilmy's amazement, he saw 3 hippos frolicking on the floor of the waterhole. On seeing Hilmy, the hippo swam to the surface, followed by a very angry Hilmy. Assalamu alaikum, called Hilmy. Walaikum salam, replied the 3 hippos. What are you doing in my waterhole? Demanded Hilmy. You must leave at once. This is my waterhole, and I will not share it with anyone. You must find somewhere else to live. Hilmy, said the large hippo, there has been no rain for a very long time. Our waterhole has dried up. You must be kind to us and allow us to share this beautiful waterhole. But Hilmy did not listen, nor did he care. Go away, he shouted, and don't come back. The 3 hippos sadly left the waterhole. Later that day, a small flock of white-faced ducks flew down and splashed into the water. Assalamu alaikum, called the ducks. Walaikum salam, said Hilmy. Have you come to share the waterhole too? Of course, replied one of the ducks. There is very little water about. All the small waterholes have dried up and the river has stopped flowing. It is very sad for everyone. We must pray that it will rain soon. Hilmy was very annoyed. He angrily shouted at the ducks, Fly away! Find somewhere else to live. This is my waterhole. The white-faced ducks were frightened and flew away. Day after day, the rain did not come. Day after day, the waterhole grew smaller and smaller. Soon, the waterhole was nothing but a small pool of dried mud. Hilmy knew he needed a new place to live, so he set out to find a new waterhole. He walked a long way across the dry savannah. Soon, he came across a colony of meerkats standing on a mound of sand. Assalamu alaikum, called one of the meerkats. Walaikum salam, replied Hilmy. Where are you heading to, Hilmy? Asked the meerkat. My waterhole has dried up, so I'm looking for a new place to live, replied Hilmy. Why are you traveling alone, Hilmy? Have you no friends? I live alone as I do not wish to share, replied Hilmy. The meerkat looked at Hilmy with surprise. We live together in large colonies, Hilmy, said the meerkat. Without each other, we will not survive. In times of need, inshallah, we are there for each other. Snorted Hilmy. That is not for me. The sun sank low on the horizon, and the moon rose up, shining in a bright crescent. Bats swooped across the night sky, and owls hooted from the trees. But Hilmy did not dally. He continued to search for a new waterhole. When the sun rose the following day, casting a pink glow across the earth, Hilmy stopped to rest beside the lake. Hundreds and hundreds of flamingos stood feeding in the shallow water. Assalamu alaikum, called Hilmy to the nearest flamingo. Walaikum salam, replied the beautiful pink bird. There are so many of you here, said Hilmy. How can there be enough food for everyone? We live in large flocks, replied the flamingo. We always settle where we know there is enough food for everyone. We are gregarious. That is, we like to live together. Hilmy went on his way, leaving the flamingos to happily feed in shallow waters of the lake. Soon, he passed a small herd of zebra. Hilmy noticed that they too were gregarious. Then he saw a group of giraffes. Their heads stood tall above the trees, and Hilmy knew that they too enjoyed each other's company. By midday, when the sun was directly overhead, Hilmy came to a large sand dune. He raced up the sandy slope, and once at the top, an amazing sight met his eyes. Before him lay a very large expanse of water. Never before had Hilmy seen so much water. It stretched as far as the horizon. "Subhanallah!" cried Hilmy. "What a beautiful sight! This is truly the largest waterhole in the world, and there is not a hippo in sight." Hilmy ran across the white sand and splashed into the water. He had walked for so long that he was very, very thirsty. The first thing he did was to have a large gulp of water. "Assalamu alaikum," called a seagull bobbing on the waves. "Walaikum salam," replied Hilmy, spitting the water from his mouth. "What is this?" he spluttered. "This water tastes of salt. I cannot drink this. I cannot live in this salty water." "This is the sea, Hilmy, and hippos do not live in the sea," the seagull explained. Hilmy turned to leave. He was very disappointed, and he was still very, very thirsty. Hilmy followed the path back to the lake where the flamingos gathered. When he arrived, he went to quench his thirst from the shallow water. "Assalamu alaikum," called Hilmy. "Walaikum salam," replied the flamingos. "You cannot drink from our lake, Hilmy," they all chanted. "You must learn a lesson. You would not share your waterhole with others. Therefore, you cannot drink from our lake. When you are prepared to share, we will share with you. Leave us alone, Hilmy." Hilmy sadly continued on his way. It was a long walk back to his waterhole. The sun beat down and there was no water to be seen. Once again, night fell and Hilmy sat down to rest for a short while. He was still very, very thirsty. When morning came, Hilmy was eager to be on his way. He passed the little colony of meerkats. They stood on a mound and waved as Hilmy passed by. Soon, Hilmy passed a small pond where the white-faced ducks had settled. At once, Hilmy went over to the water's edge to have a drink.
"Go away, Hilmy," shouted the white-faced ducks. "You would not share your waterhole with us, therefore you cannot drink our water."
With a heavy heart, Hilmy went on his way. He was still very thirsty. Dark clouds began to gather across the sky and thunder began to rumble in the distance. It began to rain when Hilmy reached another waterhole. "Assalamu alaikum, Hilmy," called the large hippo. "Allah, in His mercy, has sent the rain." "Walaikum salam," replied Hilmy. "Can I share your waterhole?" "No," called the hippos. "You cannot share our waterhole as you did not allow us to share yours. You must go on your way. Perhaps you will learn that when others are in need, you will willingly share your good fortune." The rain splashed down as Hilmy made his way across the vast savannah. When Hilmy reached his waterhole, he saw his friend, the little chameleon, sitting on a branch. His waterhole was almost full once again. "Assalamu alaikum," called the chameleon. "Walaikum salam," replied Hilmy. "I hope you have learnt your lesson, Hilmy," said the chameleon. "You are fortunate to have such a beautiful waterhole. We must never forget to appreciate the good times. For in life, there is always a chance the good times will change. We must help and share with others when they are facing hardships. Hilmy looked across at the shimmering water and the blue sky above. Subhanallah, he was truly blessed. He had the best waterhole in the entire world. Astaghfirullah, he said quietly to himself. He had been unkind to his fellow creatures. Allah, in his mercy, had blessed him. Hilmy knew that it is not only a duty to share with others, it is a privilege.
Thanks for sharing your cookies with me, Teddy. That's really nice.
And Hilmy soon learnt the same lesson too. Well, see you next time.